Hey everybody, we are actually
Well, I've been sitting here on this dock by the bay, watching my blue skies turn to gray. Didn't know if I should run or stay, so I pulled up Mike's weather page, 'cause Mike's weather page, you know he's got the news to keep you safe. Mike's weather page is only a click or two away. Well, I admit that I had one or a few, 'cause I was down and I was feeling blue. But then I clicked on Mike's fan page. I saw all my friends now, I'm okay. 'Cause Mike's weather page, you know he's got the news to keep you safe. Mike's weather page is only a click or two away. We all know Mike's a real fun guy. He'll track the storms as they blow by. But when the drunk donkey comes out to play, Miss Julie, take his phone away. 'Cause Mike's weather page, you know he's got the news to keep you safe. Mike's weather page is only a click or two away.
Not sure what the gusts are, but
well, there's Louie and
definitely,
no telling what they're gonna do.
I think we're
you know
seeing a little
it's
higher gusts.
got more than a million fans. Yeah, 'cause now Mike's weather page, you know it's got the
Trying to keep the camera from getting away.
Mike's weather page is only a click or two away. Mike's weather page, you know it's got the news to keep you safe. Mike's weather page is only a click or two away.
Yeah, everybody say it. Yeah. Anyway, good morning. Monday morning. Coming to you live from Oldsmar, Florida. Home of Hurricane Havoc. Our little town, as so many others, got beat up. And watching that debris pile climb higher and higher. But now they got the trucks taking it away, so what a process, man. They drive around the neighborhoods, pick all this stuff up, dump it in this massive mountain of debris, and then the other trucks show up and they take it away. I don't know where they take it, but it's slowly disappearing, at least for our little area. So what's going on? Good morning, everybody. We got Hunter today. Hunter is patiently waiting to say hello to everybody. That's right, Debbie. 59, Steve, huh? Oh, man, that feels pretty good. Morning, Miss Tammy. Kimberly, what's up, Brew Crewers? Good morning, Brandy. Got a little weather to talk about. Yes, we do. I got my video. So, hey, listen, I'm really excited about one thing. Not sure if you've noticed over the last few weeks, but X used to have embedded posts, and that disappeared about a year ago. Then Facebook had embedded posts, but it would not work on mobile anymore. And that was not just me. It was nationwide, worldwide. So if you were wondering, I always would embed my post here on my page. Well, now I got a third-party company that I'm paying some good money for, but it updates, which I love it, and it's on the app too. So the Mike's Post section on the app is now live, and this is a video I did last night, the blue light special. My God, I don't know what in the world. This is the surge video on the screen, and you can see that was Oldsmar pointing towards the bay. Now, the first 3 satellites came in fast. So the theory of something floating is not the ones after the first three looked like they floated in. But initially, the first three that came in were not floating. And they were, I don't know what the heck they were. So the blue lights, here they come. Watch these three just show up and they like zoom by. Watch. Boom. I don't know what the hell they were, but they're not gators. Everybody says alligators. That's the Gulf of Mexico. That's the bay. That's Tampa Bay. We don't have that many gators in the Gulf. Maybe one here and there, but not. So, I don't know. Blue lights, man. Blue eyeballs or something. There was no lights pointing that direction because that was during Hurricane Helene. The surge. And that might not look like a lot, but that surge flooded hundreds of homes. 500 homes in our little community were damaged from Hurricane Helene. And that doesn't look like a lot, but it pushed in and flooded hundreds of homes. So, who knows what they were. Crab pods, Jennifer? What's up, William from Hobe Sound? Morning, Central Georgia. What's up? Yeah, Ryan, I know. Paso Grille's a mess down there, right? Jeffrey, what's up? That's right, Lee. This is Hunter. We don't know what those blue lights are, lady. That was the $1 million question. I even put it out online last night everywhere. What's up, Richard from Vero? Joanna St. Pete. Thank you, Miss Lisa Clark. Hope everybody had a great weekend. We had a tough Bucks loss yesterday. Rhonda, yeah, he's cute. He's like that little guy on Rudolph. He's cute. He's cute. He's cute. Anyway, oh my boy. Oh. Meet and greet. Hopefully, Linda, we'll be able to announce soon. I hope. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. We just had to schedule things all messed up because of the hurricane, so nothing solid yet. We're going to try to do an end-of-the-year party, though. Right, Greg? End-of-the-year party somewhere. Probably at TBBC, so watch for that. A lot of folks going out on cruises. Well, Isabel's never watched us live. Are you kidding me? We've been live since 16, during Hurricane Matthew. We started doing live videos. 2016, that's when Facebook started doing live videos. So cheers, everybody. So anyway, we're going to hopefully announce our meet and greet soon with our good friends from ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. You can still pick up Spaghetti Model IPA there. Hopefully, call your store. They'll get it if they don't. Most of the stores should have it, or they did have it. We sold out. Tampa Bay Brewing Company. This weekend, by the way, Tampa Bay Brewing Company having their Bad A Beer Fest, okay, here in Oldsmar. I might share it again here, maybe Wednesday. Awesome little fun party get-together here in Oldsmar that they do yearly, and I'll be there for sure. It's Saturday by the Oldsmar Library. 70-plus brewers from around the United States are going to be here setting up, giving you samples. Samples that you can buy at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. But they're Florida homegrown, just like Mike's Weather Page. We appreciate their support, that's for sure. Let's put up the water vapor loop up. There's what it looks like. Lance, man, you the man. We got to get Lance. I have got to send Shelly all your nice donations. Apple, I did see the NASCAR race. It was pretty exciting. We're going to talk about the tropics here in just a minute, so bear with me. Good morning there, Ann Peterson. Morning from New York, Susan. Got the big Yankee game tonight. Good morning there, Tammy. Front pushing it more east. Stacy, that's going to be a big question. We're going to talk about it here in a second. Corey Bell, you got some bourbon. Rendy. Valdosta. I got buddies that live in Valdosta. Good morning, Kellen. I love Daytona. My favorite place to go. One of them. Akeem, right? Yankees. I'm drinking. Yeah, Brian, the Bucks. Hey, our quarterback's good, man, but he's got to slow down these turnovers, man. He's trying to be a hero, and catches up with you. Oh, the beer thing Mike sold this weekend, Saturday. We'll talk about it. I'll show you the link. Just look up Tampa Bay Brewing Company on Facebook, and there'll be an event for that. So, all right. So we're going to talk about it. Lance. Oh, our YouTubers over there are great. Thank you, Lance. Bradenton. Yeah. Kentucky. Okeechobee. I love it. Mike's Word Page bringing everybody in from around not only the U.S., but Caribbean too. All right. Water vapor loop. All right, so we got a little frontal line coming through Florida right now. That's kind of nothing really, but just some clouds keeping the weather halfway cool. Halfway cool. We're going to be talking about this big old juicy area down here in the Caribbean now. So that's going to be the main focus. But let's talk about Halloween real quick. I want to tell everybody, here's your Halloween trick-or-treat forecast. Going to be a frontal line coming up that going to bring some rain there, unfortunately, on the upper Gulf northeastward. So this looks like about trick-or-treat time. Plan on that. Temperature-wise, trick-or-treat time, 70s. Ugh. That's not Friday morning. That's not Saturday morning. That's not Friday morning temperatures. It's Thursday night temperatures. So, going to be kind of warm and muggy. 70s all the way to Pennsylvania. Boo. Look at that. 80s in Texas. Yuck. So, fire pit will be lit, but it'll be several feet away. So, nothing too cold on Halloween night. Hazards map, looking down the road. This starts out on 10:28 to 11:01. Look at all these frost and freeze lines happening tonight. Again, high winds, cold weather. Still got rivers flooding in Florida, unfortunately. With the Lacucci, St. John's area there, still got some floods from Milton, believe it or not. Storms to talk about real quick. This is tomorrow. We got high pressure locked in over the south with this frontal line slowly approaching. It's going to bring in some nasty weather. There's our high, and anytime we start to get this springtime pattern here, bringing up some warm Gulf moisture, and we have stormy weather on Tuesday, and then we have really stormy weather on Wednesday, Tuesday night into Wednesday, or it could be Wednesday. So look at that. Spring pattern is back. I think I saw Reed Timmer is going to go storm chasing. All right, so let's talk about this little guy. So there you go. It's 40% chance something might develop. This is 40%. Let me write it right there. 40%. What does that mean? Well, this is an area that could see development. It's not a track. It's not like anything other than this area. And it's 40% chance the next 7 days. So that's kind of what we've been talking about for a long time. It seems like, hey, does anybody else take their kids' candy? Look at that. I invaded Sarah's candy from her party Saturday night, and I have to save that. Does all the parents pick through the kids' candies and leave them behind all the junk? You ever see that funny video about you told your kids that you ate all their candy? Get their reaction. Sarah Punta Gorda, what's happening? Hey, Bobby, how's it going, Miss Hurricane Harbor? Richard Reamer, what's going on? Shiloh in Southwest Florida. Michael, yep. Whoa. Just click something I wasn't supposed to click. Whoa. You should see my kids' U-Haul. Reese's, you got to save the Reese's. I just feel like that's like expensive candy, not the cheap stuff. All right, so anyway, we're going to talk about this area right here. So we got a lot of things brewing on the models, okay? We got basically a big old low pressure area We have like a little bit of wave action. We got the Central American gyre coming. Biggest thing is this MJO phase coming that's going to really ignite the tropics here. And we have a couple scenarios coming. We have a high pressure possibly that's going to allow this to maybe do that, or maybe do that before it turns, before it turns, before it turns. So zigzag is on the plate. And you know what other storm zigzagged in November? That video I played at the beginning of our little show. That was Eta. Eta zigzagged back in the day. Nicole did this back in the day. So you kind of look at Mother Nature and how things repeat. And we got to watch this. All right, so here's all the latest models. These are a couple different sites that just show prediction possible. This is a little area there. There's another map, experimental, but it kind of shows the Canadian and the GFS showing something maybe developing here in the next 6 days. I post stuff like this. We're going to get into all the models, but this is one of the posts I did this morning. What is this model map? So these are tropical tidbits. These are your Ensembles blend of low pressure. Okay. So it's a useful tool because it's 3 different models, and it kind of shows what all the ensembles are thinking on the Canadian, GFS, and Euro, and they're all saying this for Wednesday of next week, Wednesday next week, Wednesday next week, next week. But notice the blue. This is low pressure. So the point of this is that you take all the blends of these ensembles and you're getting a sense of what they're thinking. The high pressure, high pressure, high pressure. So we might get, you might get a random run, it does something like that, or, you get a random run that does that. But the bottom line is they all think we're going to have some sort of low pressure with high pressure possibly kind of kicking it northwest. But man, this thing's taking forever. So what I learned over the years too, ones that argue don't share models because they delay and they change, that's I can see the argument, but the point is the weather is supportive of this happening. So it's not a matter of when, it's a matter of it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So, I see why the models are taking their time. It's because this MJO phase is coming in. And so anyway, it just seems like it's taking forever. But it's really not. We just started talking about it last week. But these things take forever. So this timing would be middle of next week. So we're getting through Halloween first. That's always been the case. But then we're going to be watching this little area for low pressure. And here are your latest Weather Nerds models. And we're gonna run these all individually here in a second. So a lot of the questions are, all right, so Diana, great point. People are saying it, or I'll see. So right now there's not an it. It's tough. Like, will it? So it's tough right now because, where's it going? Well, right now it's not anything. So we're the early stages of watching tropics is you get the idea of an area that could support something brewing. And then you start looking at steering currents, and then you start looking at trends, and you start looking at majority of models, not just one or two. So we have this weird energy coming off of this frontal line that's still popping in the picture, but then we get some sort of a break between it possibly that's allowing this thing to tug northwest. Early on, the GFS was combining these two and swinging something around, and there's just a lot of stuff happening in the Caribbean in the next week. Now, again, these go to next Wednesday. So the end point on all these is next Wednesday. Wherever you see the pressure reading, these are next Wednesday. All right. That's where all these different runs think that whatever might be coming up from the Caribbean will be a week from Wednesday. It's forever. My God, it's forever. But we're seeing this weird consistency now with the GFS or the Euro. The Euro did not show hardly any of its members. So there's 51 members of the Euro and there's 31 of the GFS. But now we're seeing a few of the, we're seeing quite a few. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe half of the Euro. A couple days ago, we only saw 4 or 5 of the Euro. Now we're seeing almost 20 plus of the Euro Ensemble. So we're seeing consistency that something's trying to come up. And we're seeing this little zigzag. Now we're also seeing this thing do that too. So I don't want to promote one thing and not show the others. But that's enough consistency to say, well, the zigzag northwest could happen. But things can change, but definitely the Caribbean, we got a lot of people cruising. We've got folks in Jamaica, we got folks in the Caymans, we got folks in Hispaniola. This thing could be sneaking up the end of the week. So yeah, a lot of people watching this thing. But this is interesting, this consistency with this little zigzag pattern around high pressure setting up. So I was a little surprised to see more of the Euro overnight showing that possibility. So, and some of them are strong, Doesn't take a very strong system to beat trouble. Beryl was one of the most intense hurricanes I've been in, and it was only a Cat 1. And Eta skirted the Florida west coast and flooded hundreds of homes 60 miles off our coast. So, I don't ever want to promote it's only this or it's only that. Every tropical system can cause. I mean, look at Debbie. The flooding from Debbie was terrible. So a lot of people cruising hurricane season. Well, I don't know. Hurricanes. The good thing about cruises, they go around them. They won't. They'll alter their days at sea and they'll change their port dates. So Samuel, yeah, let's take a look at the 06. Do I have a 12-foot turkey? No, Lori. Zigzag. Eta was so wild that I even had a shirt. I never did anything with it, but my buddy Dusty made Zorro. Remember Zorro? We made my little donkey guy with Zorro and drew the tracks because Zeta was like this. Zeta was so weird. Zeta was like, I don't even remember now, but Zeta did like that. It was, or whatever. It was really weird. All right, so let's take a look at all the models. We'll look at some 6Z ensembles here in a second. We'll just look at the overall patterns and stuff here. We're going to tropical tidbits. Best part of there's no bad part of cruising. And I have no more hurricane snacks. I have one. Well, no, we'll all have hurricane snacks. So listen. The tropics can happen because guess what? We're all going to get restocked with hurricane snacks this week. So yeah, can't use that excuse that there's no hurricane season. And then we had Zeta. Zeta was a late season storm that went strong north. So. All right, so these are pressure maps, basically, low pressure, high pressure. So the GFS at one time was doing some crazy shenanigans where it was pulling the system up here, it was pulling a low here, and it was combining the two. And so now it's on this other trend of a hook off to the northeast. But what we're looking at here, we're going to do a couple timestamps. So let's basically, for all the models, we're going to stop right here. This is November 1st. So low pressure starting to develop Friday. Latest GFS gets it going, develops it pretty quick, and crosses Hispaniola possibly as a hurricane on Sunday, Monday, this week coming up. High pressure to the north, does a little zigzag towards the Bahamas, and then it kind of goes back out. So that's kind of been the recent trend on the GFS. And here's our little system that it was wrapping around earlier on. So if you're worried about Florida, then you want to cheer the GFS. Overnight 00Z, pretty strong system here Saturday, possibly affecting the Caribbean. Developing, the waters are very hot down there, so don't think it can't happen. It's still summer in the Caribbean. Strong system over Hispaniola, and it turns towards the Bahamas a little bit, and then it scoots between the Bermuda and U.S. So that, very feasible run. 18Z, strong system. It develops it pretty far over, though, which seems pretty far. Here's the weekend. Hurricane Hispaniola bringing it towards the Bahamas, and very close there, and then it kind of does that. So you get to feel what the GFS is thinking. Now, let's look at the ensembles. All right, so when you have operational runs, then you look at their ensembles, and then you get a sense of what the ensembles are saying. And the ensembles are painting a little different picture. Let me show you here. We're going to go to the GFS ensembles here, and we'll go out 15 days and open image, a new tab. All right, so here is your GFS ensembles. Now, that's a lot of spaghetti. Yes, it is. But the point is, there are several members to the west. So you don't want to get caught up on one run that looks like that, because we still have a big camp over here. We have some over here too. But, this is what you watch, is the ensembles, and you say, oh, okay, well, it's not a guarantee. So there you go. That's the 6Z. Last night, 00Z even had more over here. So, yeah. So we worry about that zigzag if you're living in the southeast, Florida especially. So that's something to keep an eye on. The zigzag northwest, and then the front picks it up and takes it away. So yeah, that's why I'm not too sold on those GFS runs at the moment. Hey. All right, some other runs. Let's take a look at latest Canadian, which has done really good this year. Very well. So latest overnight Canadian, here's Sunday, 990 pressure, and it sees that high pressure to the north, and it gets her very close to Jamaica by early week next week. Could be a hurricane. There's the Caymans on Monday, Tuesday, and it's starting that northwest turn, 959. That's pretty darn strong. Yes, it can happen. There's going to be very light wind shear. We got this MJO phase coming, and the waters are above normal big time, and they're still in the middle 80s. Okay, so yes, it could happen. But it stops at 10 days. My God, it's taking forever, right? Weekend and then that. But you can already get a sense of what's going to happen. We got a front line coming into the picture, which almost guarantees this thing's going to eventually turn. It doesn't go past 10 days, but this type of setup would turn eventually. So, but definitely want to keep that in, anybody that says, season's over, make a little side bet. Yesterday's 12Z on the Canadian, kind of that same thinking. Close to Jamaica on Sunday, Monday, next week this time frame. Gets close to Caymans on Monday, Tuesday, and kind of starts to turn a little northwest, and then there's the frontal line coming into the picture. So Canadian's pretty aggressive. Euro AI is all over the place. Everybody was bragging about the AI. It's been everywhere. It hasn't really got a good handle on the system, but it is showing you this. Here's Sunday. There's low pressure over Jamaica. So we're looking at steering patterns at this point. Here's next week. Here's a high pressure system. Here's a front coming into play. this thing's starting to get that northwest wiggle, no matter, whatever it is. You can see it kind of merging with the front and does that. So it doesn't even develop it, but it does tell you steering currents. And that would kind of, again, be a little more off to the west. Yesterday's 18Z kind of showing you the same thing. Northwest getting picked up by that front. Again, the timing's all the same. This will be next Monday, sometime around here, this whole general area. Latest Euro is showing you Friday. Really no development, but it is kind of showing the pattern that we're looking at. This was next Monday, and there you go. So, and there's high pressure next Monday. So basically, the steering currents would probably push a northwest motion before a frontal line comes into play and turns. So that's where we're at. Good consistency. It's just development's a little bit all over the place, but that's the Euro. Now let's go to the Euro ensembles and take a different look at it and see how many members are actually developing it. And go out 15 days, and there you go. So quite a few are showing this thing going off northwest. Very few are showing it not going off to the northwest or northeast. Here's that other little energy I was talking a lot about that was at one time like they were kind of becoming one, but now we're getting separation between the two. And anytime you get two systems this far apart, you almost start to get a little developing high pressure building in between them, which would kick this more off to the northwest. So that's, timing. If it were to come here, for example, this would be the 6th of next week, November 6th. So really, the timing hasn't really changed at all, honestly. I don't know why I said that earlier. Maybe a day it's pushed it back, but that just seems to be the argument to everybody. It keeps pushing it back a day. Well, the pattern does not change. But that is something, Zeta did this up in the Upper Gulf too. So, everybody should keep an eye on this little system. Let's see what yesterday's 12Z showed. About the same. Not a lot. Remember I said there's 51 members, so it's not like they're all showing it, but there are quite a few showing it going up into the Gulf. So the point of that is the main operational is showing you no development, but this model is saying obviously that there's a chance it's going to develop. So you get caught up on sharing one run like, yeah, but the Euro says this. Well, because the Euro ensembles say differently. That's the highest color we've seen, by the way, with chances. Definitely the highest color. So we see dark purple now. This is 30% of tropical storm formation. Depression wise, really 50, 60, 70% chances. So yeah. And we even got some hurricane colors showing now. So what's confusing? Nothing's confusing. My favorite model this year, Krista. Holy cow. Well, I got a lot of them. I love the CMC for initial storm sniffing. I love that. I like the H-Warp for intensity, 100%. GFS has done fairly good this year overall, 2 out of 3. Euro, 1 out of 3. Euro's not had a very good year at all, so Euro's not on my list. Icon is slow to the game this year, and it catches up. My brain is like a big bowl of spaghetti. I kind of blend them all together. Now I'm starting to understand weather more before I make posts. But you can see this. And I tell you what's weird too. I like this one model called the KMA. As you all know. Let's take a look at it. The KMA is a Korean model that last year I started looking at a lot. It seems like it's about every 2 out of 3 runs it is on consistency. So here's last night's 0-0-Z run. There's our low taking shape Sunday. Holy moly, look what it does. It really gets it going. Now, it did the same thing with other storms. It's not very good with steering patterns, but it does really good with the idea of environment, and you can see that it develops the system pretty strong next Monday. So that's why, in the UK doesn't go out far enough to really, I don't think it only goes out 168. Oh, we're starting to get a low, though. Look at that. Oh. First time I've looked at the UK, it goes out the next Monday. So we're starting to see that. Yes. So my thing is this northwest zigzag that we're going to be looking at. And basically trying to get an idea where anything might go. So this front that's coming down Halloween isn't going to miss this. That's the problem. Originally it was going to pick it up and shoot it out of here, but now that the front kind of misses the front and might allow this thing to linger a little bit longer in that Caribbean. So there you go. What's up, Mr. Bobby? Colby, what date? Well, I think every day we're getting a little bit more clarity. Or, timing wise would be next Monday. It should be starting to develop, honestly. So that's within 5 days. By Friday, let's break it down a little closer. But by Friday, I would think that we would start to see something in the orange. So let's look at 850 wins here on Friday. Look at the euro. Even though the euro operational is terrible, here is our basic low pressure starting next Friday. See that big broad low spin happening right here? This is next Monday. Latest GFS showing really getting going here. This is next Friday, this upcoming Friday, Saturday. You can see the low starting to spin. It's a good question. I should probably post that. Here's the Canadian. That was a good question. So I'm going to post that. That'll be my next post. Here's a Canadian for Friday, Saturday. See that low starting to get going here. So yeah, within 5 days. UK showed it already. Starting to see a little spin on Saturday. KMA. And that, this is that Central American gyre, man. It's fascinating. We can really see it with the moisture map. I don't know if we got it on this one, but we can look at the euro and see the precipitable water map. So this is how it all happens. See this? This is the precipitable water map. So we have this Pacific juice that rolls in around here. We get this influence here, and we got a frontal line to the north. And everything starts to get spinning right there. And that's fascinating. Fascinating. Look at that. Here's the Canadian. You really see it in the Canadian model. Look at that. Here we go. As it loads. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? That's crazy. Let's hope the Canadian's wrong, okay? let's hope the Canadian is wrong. You Canadians, go home. It is fascinating, Bonnie. Andrea, good morning. Lori, yeah, this area is always pretty. Yeah, Bobby, I know you love this precipitable water map. I sure do love it too. It really explains how it happens, right? Another really awesome tool to use is the 850 vorticity here, and you can see this spin really going even on the Euro, even though it doesn't develop it. You can just see the whole broad nature of the area here spinning. Windy is just a map. Windy is not a predictor. It's just a weather tool. Oh, David's going on a cruise for Cozumel. Well, I'm sure you'll be watching this, but hey, don't ever stress. The cruise lines always figure it out. Dave, I would be watching close in Florida. I'm watching close. I told my buddy Jack next door, he wants me to wash my truck because it's an eyesore, apparently, to our neighborhood. Canadian, you're staying? Okay, you can stay. Sherry. I told him I'm waiting for this next storm. And they always look at me like, what do you mean next storm? I told them that last week. So the waters are warm everywhere except the Gulf. But here's where you need to realize it doesn't really matter, because once the storm gets going, even if, the storm will be moving pretty fast. If we do get something that gets caught up in a frontal line, they move fast because they pick them up and turn them. So this is where we worry about the storm, getting stronger, bigger, moisture. So the water myth is a myth to me. Florence formed in Category 4 out in the open Atlantic at 78, 79 degrees back in 20. What was that, 18? Just had a brain fart. I don't want to be dumber than I normally am. Yep, 18. 2018. So anyway, so the waters are warm. And I got this really fascinating tool here that talks about maximum hurricane intensity. And this is pretty decent. This is where Beryl proved right. The Beryl turned into a Cat 5 in the Caribbean when it shouldn't have. This shows you what the atmosphere can maintain with current conditions. And it is showing 960, 950 millibar range in the Gulf waters, but it's also showing 900 in the Caribbean. And this is where the reality is what the Gulf can maintain as far as hurricane winds go. And, purple is still H4. Not to say this is going to be a category anything. It's just saying the environmental conditions can still maintain a strong system. So that's the point of that. Not to hype it, but the atmosphere can still support something pretty strong. If everything else lines up, it's got to have the most perfect environment ahead of it. But, we talk about the ocean heat content, we talk about the MJO, all that's coming into play, but we're going to say goodbye now because I like to go to 10. So we'll say hello to everybody for a few more minutes. If you're just tuning in, welcome. I did get my Mike's post thing fixed. I'm so happy. It's also on the app, so you can keep up with all my posts because they get lost sometimes in the social world. So there you go. Oh, sorry, Lady Butterfly. What was the rest of the question, Lori? Oh, my God. Oh, this many storms. Yes. Historically, if we were to look at history and storms for this time of the year, we'll look at November 1st to the 10th. You can see a lot of storms form down here in the Caribbean. Very few come to Florida. Only 3 or 4 hurricanes in November I think have ever hit Florida, but we all know that history makes new history books, and when the environment is favorable, then anything can happen. The environment doesn't know that it's November, put it to you that way. The waters are hot, and we got light wind shear. So, but yeah, there's all the storms that have formed in the last 170, 80 years, and a lot of them were down there. Even November 11th through the 20th, has been a big cluster of storms formed down here. And you can see where most of them go. You know, they all turn eventually. So pretty much, you know, hopefully we know that. Texas is okay. But I wouldn't go any farther than saying that, because we saw Zeta a couple years ago. Pretty strong late season system a couple years ago. So let's look at a couple storms here. So let's look at Zeta 2020. So Zeta basically was that. And if you saw a lot of the European ensembles, that's kind of one of the scenarios. That was October 30th. So, you know, week earlier, but still you can see that, you know. And then we had Eta that year, the zigzag storm, that kind of did that. And yeah, you can kind of see the same thing. High pressure came in, really brought it south, then it went back. That was the zigzag storm. Early November, Eta hurricane off the coast. And this is the one that, it was 60 miles off our coast here where I live, and we had hundreds of homes flooded from Eta as it passed by without a direct impact. So yes, it doesn't have to have a direct landfall to cause havoc. And then we had Nicole 2 years ago that basically kind of doing what the GFS was doing. We had it pulled to the northeast and high built in, and it turned. So, you know, and that was November also. There you go. So, hey, James. I did post them. She did great. Got to pitch 4 innings. Only gave up 1 run. And I thought she did awesome. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Her first at bat, she had a hit. So pretty happy for that. So all we know is this: the weather pattern is definitely trying to get something going down there, and we know the steering currents are going to keep everybody on alert in the Caribbean and in the lower 48, Florida. And timing could be as early as, this weekend we start to see something spinning down there in the lower Caribbean area. So that's a good bit of idea on timing. So, oh, hey, Joanne. Yeah, I'm glad you watched the site, but it's not an invest yet. So she's asked about Brian Tang and Tomer Berg. Thank you, Sherry. So until we get an invest, we won't have anything. So an invest, once they peg it in invest, we need a low though. So that invest probably won't come until maybe Friday at the earliest, I would guess. So because they need a true center to let the model start to run. So I don't think we'll have an invest till at least Thursday at the earliest, maybe. So yeah, this is gonna take a little time. Bob, you got permanent lighting for holidays? No, Jack. It's cool. No, Jack's a good friend of mine. It's more of a joke. He offered to wash it for me, but it's more of a joke of me telling him we might have another storm coming, so I'm not going to wash it. I said that for Milton. After Helene, I said I wasn't going to wash it because we have another storm coming, and they all looked at me like I was crazy. I'm like, we got another storm coming. I got a sixth sense when it comes to these things, I'm afraid. Peter Stockman, what's up? Thanks. Invest this. Unvest. Yeah, we don't want to invest. Unvest. Samuel could fizzle. Yeah. I don't know. I can't see something not forming there. But Invest is an area of Invest, Steve A. It's just an area of investigation. When they peg it in Invest, all the computer models start to run, which is kind of cool. No news on the IPA meet and greets, Richard. Man, we're working hard. Stores are kind of a mess, and a lot of employees are being used at other stores, and so. Ian, Thursday, Jamaica, yes. Probably not that early, though. Worst case, let's look at GFS for Jamaica, timing-wise. Nah, it wouldn't be Thursday. No way. It would definitely be later weekend, early week. So you're good, man. Good. Ruth, I don't know. Oh, thank you, LaShannon. Anybody on TikTok last night? I was on there for 2 hours. They pegged me for... I took a screenshot of it. I don't know what the hell. I didn't get any warnings this morning, but I don't really understand what the hell. What? Regulated goods content. So this is what they got me for last night. I have no idea what that means. Live restricted for some audiences. I don't know what I was talking about. I took a funny screenshot, though. This was the screenshot. I like going live on there because I can play music. They don't get you for copyright. Oh, that's right, Jerry. Truck has to be dirty, man. So, well, anyway, there's a lot of, hopefully, some good information there with everybody. We'll be live tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow, I saw a good video from OSR today. They were leaving Tropicana Field last week, and they had a dude doing some funny dancing. So they were down here at the Trop OSR. Furman, my boy Greg Montgomery watching us. 30% off. Christmas time is coming. You cannot beat that. They sold more generators. They rule the generator world. And they're big partners with Costco and Lowe's and many other fine retailers. But you can get a 30% discount. Don't forget our good buddies from Direct Remodels. We're going to be doing some stuff with them now that Expo season's coming. Hurricane windows 40% off. Plus you get a free generator. Okay? This would be a great season to get your impact windows. Save some money on power. Don't hear the rowdy neighbor that goes live on TikTok at midnight and jams the radio. Because you'd want good windows so you don't have to listen to that guy. might be me. But anyway, this is only for the state of Florida here. They're locally here in the middle part of the states. But good guys, John and Dan, good friends of mine. And we've had a lot of MWPs get hooked up with them. And that'll do it for me. Then I guess last but not least is my buddies at Coastal Claims. I've heard more insurance headaches from everybody with these storms. So I personally recommend calling a public adjuster and have them help you get as much as you can. Trust me. Frank and crew sponsors our NASCAR at Daytona, and they're good people. They're out of New Smyrna, but they do all of the United States. So it does not hurt to give them a call if you're fighting with your insurance company. Shameless plug there. Good friends of mine, but you know, it's good to have somebody on your side that's a fellow MWP. All right, so I'm going to do a post on the timing of this thing. I'm going to blend the models together. Don't forget my link is working now, so you can keep up with all my posts right on the website. Try to make the website user-friendly all the time. It's also on the app. Let me make sure it's on the app before I tell everybody it's on the app. But it really hurt me that we lost that function, so I had to really find it. Oh, there we go. And there was my last post. So, cool. All right. Awesome. So we'll see y'all tomorrow. Okay. Have a great day. Have a happy Monday. And